Yes, it is possible to see through lies. In this Vinfo, you will learn about 3 things to focus on. And it also works for texting. We will take a real text message, break it down, and then explain in detail why it isn't true. Check it out! Hey all teen voices out there! This Vinfo is a direct follow-up on another Vinfo called How to Tell If Someone is Lying, Part 1. Make sure to watch that one too. In Part 1, we gave a few statistics on how common lying is, and we explained the importance of establishing a baseline and looking for clusters of signs. We also covered the first 3 main things to focus on for spotting lies: face, body, and voice. In this Vinfo, we will cover the last 3 main things: story, language, and evasive behaviors. Number 4, analyzing the story. Most of us want to believe what other people say. Staying objective is difficult when listening to someone's story. A person that's lying usually oversells the story. Too many details are given, often even irrelevant ones, and the story is told in perfect chronological order. If asked about what happened in the middle of the story, it's hard for a liar to answer that, since there is no actual memory to access, so the replies will be slower. Number 5, analyzing language. Most people find it hard to lie. They don't want to, but force themselves to do it anyway. This can often be noticed in the way they speak and use language when lying. Change in verb tense. By doing this, they can dance around the lie. For example, have you ever used illegal drugs? I don't use illegal drugs. That reply is not answering the question. It simply means that they don't use drugs right now. But what about 10 minutes ago? Pronoun changes. When lying, it's common that people distance themselves from the object they lie about. My car becomes the car, and personal names are used instead of he and she. Formal speech. When denying something truthfully, a person would normally say, "I wasn't there." But when lying, this often becomes more formal. "I was not there." When lying, people look for that extra emphasis to strengthen the lie. Repetition of the question. This gives the person some time to think about possible replies. Overselling honesty. This is done by saying, for example, "honest to God," or "I really mean it," or "you must believe me." Some unnecessary words. For example, "I will try," "to tell the truth," "to be honest," "maybe," "actually," "normally," "basically," "most often," "really." Number 6, evasive behaviors. Remember that most people don't want to lie and feel uncomfortable when doing it. This leads to some interesting behaviors when they are lying. Avoiding the question. Instead, people say something good about themselves. Avoiding real denial. For example, instead of "I didn't do that," they would say "I wouldn't do that." Wall building. This is often done by putting objects between themselves and the person asking questions. Girls may use their purse for this purpose. Sudden aggression. Instead of replying to a question, they suddenly protest or get aggressive and say something like, "Why don't you trust me?" Or "Why do you always ask me?" Or "You always blah." Please note, people that are wrongly accused or suspected are often angry or irritated throughout the entire conversation. If this is happening, there is a good chance that they're telling the truth. Okay, so now we know a lot about lie detection. But a lot of communication today is via chat and SMS. Is it possible to detect lies just by reading a text? Lies are easier to spot when sitting in front of a person. But yes, what we have learned now can also be used for spotting lies when texting. Here's an example. This is an online chat text from Maria. Maria didn't join some friends for a movie this day, and now she wants to explain why to one of them. Now I have time to reply better, and I checked out that link you sent. Awesome! My mom and I had one of the biggest fights ever. I will not write here what it was about. It is between me and my mom. But please believe me, otherwise I would be with you guys. Sorry for that, Maria. To analyze this, we first need to establish a baseline for Maria, her normal behavior. In this case, here's what we have. Maria is an emotional girl. She normally shares all her pain and happiness with her friends and can't hold back things. And she is a normal user of internet slang and abbreviations. Now, let's analyze this. Checked out that link you sent? Awesome. This is irrelevant to the main story and surprisingly positive. Maybe it's there only to make the other girl think positively about Maria. The biggest fight ever. This is overselling the story, and it indicates at least some exaggeration. I will not write here what it was about. It is between me and my mom. This is a big change from Maria's normal behavior to openly share everything that she feels and thinks. But please believe me, Maria is begging the other girl to believe her. Does she really need to do that if she's telling the truth? Otherwise, I would be with you guys. This is a very nice and positive message. Can Maria be that positive after having such a painful fight with her mom? She seems unaffected by the fight. Sorry for that, Maria. This is very polite and even formal. Why would Maria end an online chat message with her name? And the entire text is written in a formal way, with almost no internet slang. It's too well written. Maria's short text showed 5 signs of possible dishonesty. Therefore, it's clear that Maria had some other reason for not joining her friends, and she didn't want to tell them. Instead, she came up with this false reason. Maria might have had a small argument with her mom, but it wasn't serious. But that sliver of truth made her feel better when writing this text. You now know all you need to become a human lie detector. But this skill takes time to master. Keep in mind to first understand a person's normal behavior, the baseline, and to look for several signs of dishonesty. A general behavior, like being nervous, isn't a sign at all. What matters is the reaction or change in behavior on a specific question. That's all for now. Be good to each other out there.